Hello and welcome back to another week of I'll Call You Right Back podcast, episode 47. Just chugging along. And this weekend I hit a milestone I was super excited about. I hit 10,000 downloads, and I really, really appreciate it for everyone that listens and who's taken the time to rate and review the podcast, because that shit really helps it out. But 10,000 downloads is like, I'm pumped about it. I can't lie about it. I'm just pretty excited, and I'm doing a giveaway now. I mean, you guys are cool. I got a lot of reviews. They've been kind of coming in, and I'm excited about all the success that it's getting. So I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram at I'll Call You Right Back. You go onto the post that says, thank you so much for 10,000 downloads. And there is a set of rules on there. Basically, all you have to do is like the post and comment a few people that you would like to hear on the podcast. And December 16th, I'm going to pick 3 winners to win 3 different prize packs. So the third prize pack is a sticker pack. The second prize pack is an enamel pin and a sticker pack. And the first prize pack is a hoodie, an enamel pin, and a sticker pack. And enamel pins, I just got in. They're the phone logo. So if you are someone that wants a pin or likes pins, I mean, I don't know, dude. I just thought pins would be cool. It's a cool logo. So I got some pins made. People were asking me about pins, so I got pins made. If you want a pin, hit me up and I'll sell you a pin. $10. 10 bones, real quick. But they're dope. They're numbered, so I mean they're limited edition, you know. There's 100 of them, but they're limited, you know. And they're all numbered on the back from 1 to 100. So it's limited. So, you know, hurry up and hit me up and let me know what number you want. Some numbers are already taken. I mean, I'm pumped with the success those are getting too. I mean, I make weird shit, so like I'm just happy that people want it ever. So thanks for that. 10,000 downloads again. Big deal to me, and I appreciate it. I'm just going to keep it going. But one other quick thing. I always rate and review like TV shows that I'm watching, just because like that's like a current thing in my life. The TV show that you're watching is the mood of the life that you're living. Like if you're watching Breaking Bad, you feel fucking on edge. Like whenever I watch Ozark, I have anxiety. Like whenever I was watching those seasons. If I'm watching, like right now we're watching this TV show Crashing. So Crashing is about Pete Holmes, who is a comedian. He wrote this show with Judd Apatow, and it's cool how it is. It's almost like an Entourage feel, where like there's a bunch of famous comedians in there. They all play themselves, and Pete Holmes is actually like a famous comedian, but it's about his life coming up. And it's just super cool. Like I love stand-up comedy. I mean, I feel like even if you don't like stand-up comedy, it would be a good show. A lot of cool people in there, and it's hilarious. But on to the main reason everyone's here. Episode 47 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast is with a very good friend of mine named Brian Kennedy. Brian Kennedy is blue collar down to his roots. You know, like ever since I could remember, the kid has had just like a job in the machine type field, and like the machining, like CNC type, like, you know, he's just been doing it ever since I could remember. I found out while we were talking, he started right out of high school, but you know, I wanted to have him on here to talk about like, you know, there's so many people that are trying to be creatives and like make money through like YouTube or being crazy on Instagram and all that dumbass shit. And I mean, that's cool. Like I'm doing that kind of too. Like it would be dope to make money from this podcast, but this dude is just like he's always wanted to do this, and he's super motivational to me on like Snapchat and everything. As funny as it sounds, it's like every week or like not every week, but like every once in a while I'll get a Snapchat from him and he's just he's at work and he's killing it and he loves what he does. He welds now. He's like a certified welder and he got all these certifications, and I just thought, like, you know, he has a great mindset about life. He's not afraid to work hard and, you know, get his hands dirty and make a living, you know, just like kind of like an old way, like blue collar work is like kind of like a lost art form, I feel. I mean, I guess it's kind of coming into its own now again with the trades, but you know, that's another reason I wanted to talk to him. So it was a great conversation. I think you'll enjoy it. It's something different. And, you know, I love BK. He's a great guy. Always a pleasure. But without further ado, episode 47 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Brian Kennedy.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast.
Dude, doing it.
Doing the game. 9 to 5 life. Okay, I appreciate you coming over. I wanted to talk to you because you have a very interesting outlook on life. I've always thought that. All right. We've known each other for a very well. I'd say, I mean, I probably met you in what, 2010? I was trying to think of it today.
When was like
The scene.
like Charleroi days?
It had to be like right around then.
It had to be. That was
Because
in
in-
2010.
Yeah, because in 2009, I mean, that's the exact earliest because, like, I mean, was I hanging out with you guys in high school? I don't remember us being in high school.
No, because I met like everyone pretty much right after high school.
Yeah, and like it's CCAC and shit. I just remember that area.
Yeah, that was right after high school. Because I was definitely like 1920.
Yeah. That sounds
Because
more-
like Aftermath didn't even start until
actually the first
I
time
was like 1920 is when we all got together.
I think the first time I met you was in Oakland or Shadyside. I was with Maddie, and it was you and Jones, and you guys were skating. I think it was by Giant Eagle, maybe, or something. But I think that was the first time I met you. Now that I try to think about it,
What was the spot like? Was it like that manual pad?
yeah, that's all it was.
That was
man?
Oakland, the Outwood lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the spot.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
That had to be a long ass time ago.
Yeah, that was forever ago.
Regardless, though, in those years that we've come up, I mean, we've been to the end of the world and back. You, I don't know. I feel we have shared many interests, but you embrace that 9 to 5 blue collar life,
Yeah.
and you love it. I feel,
I love it.
and I'm kind of in what you do. Like I've been looking at your Snapchats recently, and I see that you post them elbows with them segments and everything, and that's what I do now. I
was
work.
gonna say Barry would appreciate this.
Yeah, dude, I look
he
at all that shit.
Looks at these on prints every day.
Every day I draw that because that's literally exactly what I do now. I work for a company where we specialize in non-abrasion resistant liners. It's called Basalt. You know what that is?
Yeah.
So I work for a company called CBP, and we are in Washington, and we specialize in this shit, and we have like our own machine shop like down like right on the location that we are. But I draw that shit every day. People just come in with custom pieces, laterals, fucking all of it, and you do all that shit.
Yeah.
And
I welded it all up.
You weld it all up. But now, was this something that you ever planned on doing in your life?
In a way, like growing up, I knew I was gonna get into like a trade.
That's what you knew.
I knew it from like
You never wanted to go to school or nothing.
no, not at all.
I feel that whenever I was super young, I wanted to go to school, but growing up and kind of being more exposed to shit, you start realizing that school is not the only avenue that you can make some money off of.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who the fuck wants to go to school, get a job, and work that 9 to 5 life? A lot of people don't want to do it, but like, I love my job now. I hated my last job.
Yeah, I remember. We gotta always talk about it.
It made me want to die every day going in there. But now it's dope. I work for a small company. There's like 10 people in it, and it's just nice and relaxed.
That's like exactly like the shop I'm at now. It's like 10, like barely even 10.
Yeah.
So it's like close. The my boss like started this place like pushing brooms.
What's it called?
Kutz Fabricating.
Okay.
And we do machining, water jet, welding, and then like this dude like started pushing brooms in this place. Like started from the bottom, then went to school for whatever he needed, like electrical engineering, all this, bought the place off the guy.
Really?
And then like did it his own. Like dude started from pushing brooms. I was like, that's sick.
Yeah, that's
and
sick.
I was like, and then I got that job and I was like, dude, this is the place I'm staying. I was like, I want this.
I like a small company.
I like it.
I like it way more than a big corporate feel. Like my last job was like 100 people. And, that's whenever you have to you have like a real HR and you have to like call off 2 weeks before you want to take off and everything. And it's just a smaller company is just way more relaxed and like there's less pressure and it's not as stuffy.
Yeah.
I feel like it ain't fun working for a corporate life.
I feel like you get noticed a lot more for what you're actually doing too.
Yeah.
Like when you work for that big company, you're just like,
yeah, you're a small fish in a big pond.
And like it will take you forever to like kind of like get what you want.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm busting my ass.
I agree with that.
And nobody sees what I'm doing. Like I worked for shops like that.
Yeah, because you're just a little machine. You're just a little piece.
Like I like to build a relationship.
That's exactly what I say in my interviews. I'm like, I want to be able to talk to my boss. Like I don't want to have to like never be them be out of the office all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I work with a guy who like is the boss of the company, and it's so much more refreshing because like if you're communicating with these people and you're trying to communicate with them, nothing is ever going to be as good as talking face to face.
Yeah.
Emails, fucking text messages, even texting your friends and shit like that. You cannot tell emotion through a text message. And it's the small feel is just dope. It's nice to be able to like not have to not have to go fucking be all rigid. Like, oh, I'm going to take off in 3 weeks. Can you approve it? You basically just like tell them if there's not shit going on and you're cool.
Oh yeah. If we're slow and I'll be like, hey man, like, is it cool if I just like dip out early? And he'll be like, yeah, whatever. Like I'll see you Monday. Like what? Like it's cool, man. Like do your thing.
It's good to feel like that. It's nice to be able to not be depressed and miserable going to work. So whenever you were growing up, now I only met you probably whenever we were probably like what 20 maybe 21.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't imagine what you were like whenever you were a young kid. I can't. I've no idea. I feel like if I had to guess, you would be an energetic, just jumping around.
Yeah, I was nuts.
Were you nuts?
I think that's why I sucked at school.
Were you bad at school?
I wasn't bad. It just didn't grab my attention.
Yeah.
Like I always like had to be doing something, always moving, always like.
Did you get good grades?
I passed.
Yeah.
That was it.
Did you get like C's and D's, or were you like B's and C's?
C's and B's.
Yeah, that was
like A was pretty. Like if I got like an A, dude.
Yeah,
it was like I had a cool teacher. Like I had a cool teacher,
a good
and
relationship
like, he
with
liked me
them.
and like understood me.
Yeah,
and it would be like, all right, dude. Like I see you, like kind of.
Yeah, kind of trying, and you're just like the misplaced youth.
Yeah,
it's just like you're not focusing. You're not focusing all that potential on this dumbass Charles Dickens book.
Yeah, no, can't.
Just can't do it.
I just zone out, dude.
So in school and shit, like, did you do extracurricular activities and everything?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was like, I played the upright bass.
Oh, you did play that long ago?
Yeah, that's what how I got into bass playing in the future. Because when I was like a little kid, I was so tiny, and this is like elementary school.
Yeah,
and I had to stand up on a chair to play this thing.
Why?
Like to like strum it, everything. Like I wasn't even tall enough, and I was like, it was like, oh, like my parents were like, oh, you want to like try an instrument? Like they have a program. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And they were like thinking like I'll grab like a flute, like a violin, or like a little snare or something. And he's like, no, you decided to pick the biggest instrument you could. And I was like, yeah, the bass is sick, dude. I love that.
So you chose it.
Yeah. And then I played saxophone.
See, that's dope.
Dude,
I
so good.
I would love that. That's what I would go with, either saxophone or I would play. I would probably play the sax if I had to play anything, or clarinet.
Yeah.
Clarinets are sick. I
I
fucked with
feel
the
like
jazz.
if I held a sax, I wouldn't know how to do it anymore though.
How long did you
I
play
was
it?
good. I played it for like 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in it.
Some
dude.
careless whisper.
Like I was about to like my parents were like, "Do you want to keep doing this? Because if you will, you're to the point where you can't rent the saxophone
Yeah.
anymore. Like you will have to buy you
shit or
one."
get off the pot.
And they're like, "Do you want to keep going or not?" And I was like, "No, I'm cool."
Yeah, you're cool with it.
I was like, you know what? I'll let it go.
The upright bass is intimidating, I feel.
It's sick.
It is sick. You bought one recently.
Yeah, I did.
Now, how much is an upright bass?
Dude, I got this one like super cheap. Like I was like, dude, I don't want to spend a lot of money because like this thing might just sit in the corner of my house.
I mean, I'm sure they could be up to like thousands.
Yeah, I got mine for like 600.
See, that's not. I mean, I wouldn't even have any idea how much they cost. Like now, without another person being there, what do you do? Is it just like The Office where he just hires the upright bass
Dude,
player
it's
for
weird.
an
It's
off?
not fun. Like that's the one thing. Like
no.
I mean, there's some like gnarly bass players that could like just jam by themselves. Like I have to like be with like a guitar,
Yeah.
or like something. But like with my upright, like I'll just like dabble around, take it for a walk.
Take it for a walk, slapping a bass.
But then like, or I'll put like something in the background and just try to like play with it.
Yeah, play along with it.
Yeah, because I don't want to like just I don't know, because I feel like playing bass like by yourself is weird.
Now, do you get dressed up when you play it? Because I feel like if I was playing the upright bass, I would have to dress myself up.
Like, what do you want to like? What, like a top hat? And
Bro, I'd be wearing a 3-piece with a vest and everything. Because like I feel like you can't just play that in some gym shorts and like a life ruiner tank top.
oh, you definitely can, dude. Like
That's
Tiger
probably even
Army,
better.
dude. Tiger Army, that band, dude. He would like just punk rock looking dude.
That's dope though. Upright bass. Now, after you stopped playing this shit, did you immediately pick up a bass guitar, or did you take some time off?
It wasn't until high school. I probably paid the upright bass for like a year or two. Went to the saxophone for a while, and then it wasn't until high school I decided to like band, like you're getting into music and stuff, and like your one friend plays guitar.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting
dude,
into
I'll
that.
play. And then
what could I do?
I could play bass, dude. I played it before, and nobody wants to be a bass player. So
Yeah.
like, this is sick. I'm an actual bass player. You don't have to have like. Everybody's always looking for you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That and a drummer. Everyone's
Because
looking
everyone
for
wants to
bass
be a
and
fucking
drummer.
guitarist and a lead singer.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't
good
wanna
point.
I just want to keep that rhythm, dude.
Yeah,
I don't
keep
wanna,
that rhythm.
dude. Bob some heads. I don't
don't
want to.
got
I
too
don't want
much
to be
to
out.
care about.
I don't want to be. You don't have to worry about my solo, dude. I'm
That's
just here
the
to
best.
keep the rhythm.
Now, were you into like the heavier music and shit in middle school and everything?
Yeah, that's
Or were
when
you-
like Screamo and like Taking Back Sunday.
In middle school and everything, yeah.
But what originally, now that I think of it, like what really got me in the bass before I played in bands was like I got real into like punk music, like Rancid and like Leftover Crack.
Oh yeah. You were real into it.
Yeah, I got real big into it because
How'd
like the
you get
bass
into it?
is so full in like punk music.
Yeah, it's like a big-
stands out more than a guitar, drums. I was
That's
like,
a good
dude,
point.
that's sick. And I got real into it. And like Misfits, I forget. I think it was like friends I was skating with got me into it.
Yeah. Because you started skating like long ago.
Yeah,
And did you do that first or did you do bike first?
dude, I rollerbladed first.
You wore some rollerblades?
Yeah, dude.
Yo, I had a pair of Sabotage inline skates. Never did a trick with them because I couldn't stand up, couldn't do nothing. I remember one time I made my dad, my dad has like a shop at home. So like one day, very spontaneous. I was like, me and my buddy Josh Walker, this fucking kid from my high school. All right, who knows where he is now, but he was the tall, skinny, pale kid with all black on, never had a color on, and he rollerbladed. So one day he came up and we built this grind rail. So I got this old 2x4 and this thick. It was like 2-inch OD, like 1/4-inch wall pipe.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, I need you to drill 2 holes in it. And it just did not work. And I remember trying to skate on it one time. I clipped myself and I got I hit my thigh and it turned black. Because like all my weight fell right on it. I was like, all right, I'm done with these forever. And then that's whenever I migrated to the old skateboard.
I kind of did it all. Like it was rollerblading, but then like I had my skateboard and I had my BMX bike.
Yeah.
Like I was never like purely one, but like one always overpowered the other one
Were you like the kid that was outside all the time, like running
all
around?
the time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
kids
sit
don't
in
do
the
it
house
no
and play
more,
like
dude.
video games. I hated video games.
Yeah, I'm not a video game
I was
guy.
either like shooting hoops.
You were b-ball
Yeah.
outside of the school.
In school too, I played some b-ball.
You were playing basketball in school?
Yeah, up to like middle school, and then the coach didn't like my attitude.
That's what you like your attitude. Man, I played basketball until probably 4th grade, and I was just like, I'm over it.
I loved it, dude.
Fuck that. That was the worst sport of all time. I would rather played highlight. You know, basketball, the only reason I even was okay is because I just sat under the net. I was as
Laid it
big
up.
as fuck, right up. It's like, you know, it wasn't even like fun. But my brother played, so, you know, my dad got me into the basketball and baseball just like my brother. And then I just migrated into football whenever the old weight limit started coming in on the young on the young sports teams.
I never did football. I never got into it.
Ain't even cool. I played my entire life and I don't even watch a lick of it. I haven't watched a Steeler game in probably 5 years.
I think growing up, I like just didn't like really care for the kids that were like on the team either. And I was like, well, I don't want to like
I have to
do
deal with
this
them.
and like deal with it.
Yeah. School was just weird in general. Did you like high school?
For like just having fun with my friends. I did.
Now, in high school, were you guys in the band yet? Like, did you start?
No, we had a high school band,
Oh yeah.
and it was kind of like it was pretty much just like a Blink-182 thing.
Oh man.
We won Battle of the Bands the one year. It was sick, dude.
Nah.
We covered Lit, My Own Worst Enemy.
Oh, that's a jam.
Dude, crushed it. Crowd going crazy.
Who was in it?
It was Donnie, my buddy Greg. He was from Castle Shannon, and at the very end there, this Mike dude.
So it wasn't anyone.
At
from
first, it was just a three-piece. It was just me, Donnie, and Greg.
a quick 3-piece.
Yeah, dude. Dude, we are in it.
Indians won. How old were you when this happened?
That was, I think it was 11th grade. So how are you? Like, that's like 14, I think.
15,
like 13, 14
whatever.
or something.
Who knows, dude? Who knows? That's one thing I've never done was like I was never in a band or nothing. You know, I never like played an instrument or like I tried to play guitar, but I was just fucking annoyed with it. I just never wanted
I couldn't
to
get into it either.
Yeah.
Too
it's
many strings, dude. Too much.
Too
going
much
on.
shit going on. And like my parents were like, you ain't getting no drums. And you know what I mean? And I wasn't playing. I didn't think bass was cool enough to start learning. No offense.
It's all
or
right,
nothing.
dude. It's all. Nobody wants to be a bass player.
No one wants to.
It's gonna find you if
I,
you want to be a real bass player.
I wanted to be, you know, I just wanted to be out there ripping. And I was like, you know, I got this acoustic guitar from the flea market, Olympia flea market. And it just, you know, I tried to learn some shit and it just wasn't going my way. And I was like, I'm done with this music shit. And then that's whenever like all the skateboarding shit came in and like Boy Scouts and everything. And then high school. And I just fucking signed my life away to football. And
That was it.
that was it. I was just a football player. We didn't win a game. Anyway, enough about school. So after school, like in high school, the thing that I don't get is how you're supposed to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life whenever you're fucking 14 and 15.
It's crazy to ask a kid like, "What do you want to do for the rest of your life?"
Insane,
It
dude.
still blows my mind.
How old are you right now?
30.
You're 30. I'm 28. So if you think about what we were like 10 years ago, we were literally completely different human beings.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
completely different mindset, completely different way you carry yourself. Imagine 15 years ago, whenever you still haven't even like matured all the way yet, and they're like, "What do you want to do for the rest of your life that involves you going to school for 4 years, 2 to 4 years, and automatically getting yourself into $50,000 to $100,000 worth of debt? What do you want to do?" The kids are like, "I don't fucking know. I hear that this school has like a good party,
Or like a friend's going.
yeah, our friends going. That's literally it." And you're just like, I don't get it. So how did you approach like your post graduation life?
I actually technically got into it in high school
Did you go to Steel
because
Center
I
or
went to
whatever?
Steele's. I went to that Votech,
Okay.
because they like after 9th grade you could go at 10th grade,
Yeah.
and they offered it, and you could like take a tour, and I was like, all right, I want to check this out. Like I like working with my hands. I've grown up doing this, and So I was like, I'll go check this out. And I was like, I didn't want to do like auto body or like mechanics. Like I liked working on cars, but like everybody there was just like dudes trying to soup up their Hondas. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And then I saw machining and I was like, dude, this is cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I get to like just cut metal. And like, this is when I was like heavy into BMX. So I was like, dude, I'll make stems. I'll start my own business.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'll start doing sprockets, start making parts.
So many
And then I started
opportunities.
machining before welding.
Oh, yeah?
Right out of high school, I got my first job machining.
Now, in high school, though, now rewind to that. So Steel Center, is that what it was? Votech?
Yeah, Steel Center Votech.
Okay. Now, what was it in school? Like, when did you guys leave? Like, did you go to school half
you
a
could
day?
do like morning or afternoon. So morning was like your normal, like go to, like if you just went to your high school.
Yeah.
And then you were back at lunch.
Oh, really?
So it's like 4 hours.
And you would go there and you would just have like classes, but they would be, more trade wise.
Yeah, it was all machining. And then like the math you're doing is machining. And then you got your test books and like you had homework and everything, but it was all about learning tooling, cutting, like what to do.
So you being in school, like obviously you had to like there was classes in high school that you didn't have to take. Were those just like the general education, like art and shit like that?
All I had to do was I just took math, English, and social studies. That's all I had to take. Like I didn't take a science after 9th grade.
Really?
And nothing else. Like I didn't have like a shop class. I even still had a gym class.
That's dope.
But I think you have to do that.
Yeah,
though.
probably some physical
So
attribute
like
or whatever.
like when I got back to school, it was so easy. Like Steel Center is pretty much the reason why I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Because I was like straight A's there because I was into it and I was involved in it.
Now, can you pick like your focus in that, or is it more just like general learning of all of it?
Well, I mean, you're there. I was there from 10th grade to 12th grade, so like you had levels.
Yeah.
Like I was getting like certifications through there too.
Yeah, but I mean like whenever you signed up for it, were they like, oh, would you like to take like the machining route or would you like an auto body route? Or was it just like you learned a little bit of everything?
When you signed up, you had to like pick your top 3 to see what you could go with.
Okay.
But like it was all machining. Like I picked machining and then like we stayed there. Like there wasn't like go to carpentry for the day or something. Like it was just in that class.
That's dope. And you liked it?
I loved it.
Now, was that more expensive? Like, did it cost your parents to like go there, or is that like part of tuition?
I think it's just part of it. I mean, my parents never said anything about it.
Yeah, like I never knew if it was or not, but I was always curious because I never did it, but I knew people that would, and like I knew a couple kids that I played football with, and they would come to practice a little bit late because like
they did like the afternoon class.
Yeah, and they were coming to like they were coming from Steel Center, but I never really knew how it worked, and that's dope. So like they pretty much just like teach you the same shit, but like that applies to your field.
Yeah.
Now, you had CNC machines and shit like that.
Yeah, we had two CNC mill and lathe.
Now
But like we couldn't. That wasn't until the last year I was there.
that's dope though. Now, what kind of shit did they have you making there? Was it anything that you were like that you had the creative power to make, or did they kind of make?
If you had like when you had free time, you could kind of do like I was like starting to make like pegs for your bike.
Oh yeah,
and like selling them to kids.
That's
it was
dope.
Pretty dope.
How much are you selling for?
Like just $5, dude.
Can't
'Cause
beat that.
I didn't make them perfect. Like they're gonna rust out. Like, I was like,
I made these.
I'm not even sure what metal I even used for it. I was just a kid. I was like,
That's
I'll
sick,
pour this
though.
out. But like, you kind of did projects, and like with the project was like a process of machining. Like you're knurling something. Like
Say it again?
The end
What
of
is
like
it?
a wrench knurling.
Knurling.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
It's like, like you got your metal wrench and like those bumps on it.
Yeah.
Like that's a process.
Okay.
And then you're
yeah.
cutting, you're threading, you're chamfering.
Yeah. I know what all
boring out.
that is. Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like so like you would get a piece and if it was a lathe thing, it's like cut to this size, cut to that size, chamfer it out, this or that.
It's pretty interesting because like working in the field that like I basically would be like the person that would be like giving you your drawings to like build it. So like I would just draw it. Now it's wild to be able to like see how the process is, and now this job that I'm working at now, because we have like an in-house fab shop.
Yeah.
It's cool because like I'll work with a customer and design shit, and send it down to the shop, and then sometimes I'll go down there and like see it being built.
Yeah,
and it's pretty wild to like see the process of how it does.
And then see it, in real life, 'cause I feel like it's so much different.
Now after Steel Center, like what's your next move after you graduated? You said you got certifications through there.
Yeah, it was just like levels. I forget, like, because machining was so long ago.
Yeah,
I forget what it was, but it was like proof of things to show, like, a future employer
that that you can learn that
this
process.
Is what I could do. I could run this.
That makes sense.
So my dad gave me the summer off right out of high school because he's like, you're not like everybody else. Like, you're not going to college. He was like, I'll let you like just do your thing, party it up, have fun, and then get back to work like when like normal school would start. So right after that, I went I got a job at this place out DC Park.
I know where that is.
And it was all CNC. And we were doing it was like bearing service company or something.
Wait, so you did this like right out of high school? You got a job right out of high school doing
Right
this?
out of high school.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Dude, I was like making like $12 an hour too, and I was like, dude, I'm balling.
Yeah, like
dude.
right out of high school?
18 years old. I was like, dude, this ain't bad.
Yeah, that's money.
I was like, no debt.
Sure.
I'm set.
Yeah, damn. I for some reason thought that, I don't know why. So you didn't even go to CCAC. That was just me and Todd.
That was you and Todd.
And we would just skip
But
school.
you guys would like hit me up while you were there because you guys just like hung out for like an hour every day or like even more.
Yeah, we
and
would
I think
just
you guys
skip
would like
class
call me and shit.
and go to Fox's.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought that I was like, it like all blended together in one spot. I was like, you probably went there. And then I was like, no. But so you, like after all this shit, you got these certifications and then you get this job in RIDC or RDI, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
But you're just working this regular job while everyone's in high school, while everyone's in college and shit.
Yeah, 7 to 3.
7 to 3
every day. Dude,
Now,
driving out there sucked too.
I know that was the worst because
I
that was
drove
out
through
on,
like Oakland and stuff too.
it was out past like towards like it was like towards Plum and shit like that. Because I know I would have to, not towards Plum, but I would have to drive towards like Pittsburgh Mills Mall out 28. Because that's I had an interview somewhere up there, but that place was out deep, way too far. But so like you're just working.
That was just working.
Now, what did you do?
I ran the one CNC lathe, and we like made these like. This place was all bearings, and it was like big ones, small ones. It like really wasn't that cool, but it was like my foot in the door.
Yeah.
And I worked that for like a year, and it was kind of boring because like we had a programmer.
Yeah.
So like I pretty much was just paid to like hit start and stop all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, dude, like I didn't think this was like
this
was
boring.
gonna be my life. Like I want to like get into everything. Like you would change stuff here and there, like changing the tool bit and like get to mess around.
Yeah, that's whenever you're like,
but like
all
that
right,
was
yeah.
it. So I left that place and actually took a pay cut and went to this like father-son shop in Homestead, and it was all manual machines. And I didn't work there that long, but like I learned a lot there.
You wanted more shit to do.
Yeah, I wanted to like I didn't want to just stand.
Yeah.
Like if I was running a CNC, I would also like to like program it and run it.
Yeah.
But like what that place was pretty much just a
Yeah.
factory.
it
So
was
like they just
you were
had that
just
thing. It was
mediating.
just moving.
Just
All you
making
were
sure shit
there
wasn't
was
breaking.
yeah. It was there to like if a tool breaks or something, you stop it, change it.
Yeah, so like after CCAC, I stopped going to school. I was like, fuck this. And then I got a job at a machine shop too in Elizabeth, and I hated it more than anything.
You were at that carbide place, weren't you?
Not Basic Carbide. I was at another place called Vista Metals.
Yeah.
Which was, tungsten carbide. We dealt with like
That's
powder.
messy, dude.
Dude, it was like working in a coal mine. It was the worst thing ever. I was getting paid $10 an hour, coming out looking dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
And, my parents were both just like, my dad, I told both of them, I was like, I ain't going to school. I'm just going to work. My dad's blue collar, worked his whole fucking life. I'm like, you're the man. I love you. Like, I want to be just like you. And I'm going to work. And my mom, I guess, my mom kept her mouth shut in the beginning because I think my dad was just like, you got to let him fuck up.
Let him learn.
Yeah, you got to let him learn because
let him sweat and then be like, shit, I need to do something.
For sure, dude. Failed out of Slippery Rock, hated CCAC, and then worked. So I worked this job, just the worst. 4 a.m. until like 2 p.m. And like every day driving to work, it was only literally 2 minutes away from my parents' house. Every day driving to work, I remember thinking to myself, like, I would have to talk myself out of like jerking the wheel into a telephone pole and just being like, if I wreck my car, I'll just say deer ran out and like I have the day off. Like, what can they do? I swear to God on everything in the world. Like, there's been times where I was like so close to like just doing that. Like, I didn't want to fucking kill myself or nothing, but like I wanted to not go to work. But it was just depressing. And like, as I started out there as a janitor, so I'm just cleaning shit off of toilets from grown ass men that are just like animals.
Dude, they are savages.
Animals at this place. And like, machine shops and like fab shops and everything, they breed chew spit. There's more chew in these places than I've ever seen. More chew than baseball fields, even though you can't chew tobacco on the field anymore. But these people just run through it. It's just like
they have nothing else to do all day, just ripping cigs and chew.
I know,
That's
dude.
it.
And you're like, yeah, you could
And
smoke
another coffee.
Yeah, that's it. And monsters. These fucking people are just like, and you're thinking like these grizzled old men that look all haggard, and they're like, Jesus, what?
Just beat up.
Yeah, that
dude.
guy's been through some shit. You're just like, nah, I'm just a machine shop guy that's been chain smoke. I'm actually only 28. I just look like I'm 90. But these dudes that I would go around and clean these trash cans up. I remember this, and this old guy that was there, he's one of the guys that was there longer than anyone. He looked at me and he said, "You better get out of here while you still can." And I was like, Jesus! It was like the opposite of Babe Ruth and Sandlot. He's just like, get out of here, get away. So I was like, fuck it. Went back to school, did good, and now like I'm in this field. Now I feel like life is kind of giving younger kids the taste of trying to find something to do and make money that's like an easy way out.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, for sure.
Everyone wants to make clothes, start podcasts, be
Everybody
rappers.
wants to be a creative.
Everyone wants to be a creative. That's the new fucking that's a new band back in
It
2010.
It really is, and it like bums me out sometimes though.
It does, but like the best part about it is like the cream is always going to rise to the top. So the fuck boys are definitely going to get exposed.
Oh, for sure.
And like, this podcast, it's like this ain't like always like fun to edit this shit and put it out every week. So like it takes like a long time to do it all, but that's why I feel like everything is going to sort itself out, because like the people that like see all this shit online and see that people are, doing this like shit and monetizing a creative way.
Yeah.
It's just like they don't realize that it takes some shit.
So much work.
So much shit. But like you're just like, you embrace this like 9 to 5 life, and you're just like that's why I wanted to talk to you about all this shit, because it's just like, how do you keep like a positive mindset throughout the day? For real though.
I mean, honestly, I see it as like at my job and what I do.
Yeah.
I'm doing different stuff like every day.
Yeah.
Like half the time I'm on like 5 different jobs in one day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think of it and I'm just like, in my own way, I might have a day job, but technically, like what I do, you could consider a creative.
That's
like,
a good
but
point.
like now if I opened up my own little shop, then I get that like creative badge.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like then I get that like I'm a creator, but at my work, I'm literally doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's just like you're under like...
But I'm doing stuff for companies.
I
Maybe it's
get
not
it.
something super cool looking, but it's like a profession and it's like hard to do and not everyone could do it. And I just see it as like, I don't know. My mindset is just really, I just enjoy welding.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's hard. Like some days you go in there, like you're just driving to work.
Yeah,
and
you
you're like,
have your
"Fuck
good
my
and bad.
life." Like,
Yeah, for sure.
dude, like I should have went to college. Like,
Yeah, but then
I go like, what was I gonna do in college? I was gonna party and get a degree in some bullshit. I'm not even gonna get like a decent job
half
at.
the people that I know that have like degrees and shit, like my buddy has a degree in history, he can't find a fucking job.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you doing?
But, dude,
And-
there's nothing to do.
It's insane to me. So how did you transition machining into welding?
That was so I was at like the father-son shop, and
In
it was like
Homestead.
super tiny shop, and I had like my journeyman papers in machining. Like I was doing night courses, and like
What does that mean?
it's just like
You put in
little-
hours.
Yeah, you learn all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just like higher up.
Journeyman.
You're a journeyman.
Okay.
And then
And you're a journeyman machinist.
yeah.
Okay.
And that just helps you. Like, it's like getting your diploma.
Yeah,
or
it's like a
something.
diploma.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
get paid more.
it's
and,
like a master's or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I got laid off because it was small, and I kind of didn't get along with the one dude that worked there.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of got like pushed aside.
Was he like a dude that was there longer?
Yeah, he was longer. He just like didn't like me for some reason. I don't know why.
You're such a likable guy.
Dude, he was the worst, dude. He'd listen to like politic radio all day long. He's like, "You're gonna need to know this,"
Yeah.
and then like he would just like harp on me for everything I did with my life. He's like, "Yeah, my son went into the army. You should think about it." I go, "No, I think what your son is doing is amazing, but like." I went to school for this. Like, this is, I'm here because this is what I went to school for, man.
Yeah,
He just hated me, dude. And I was like, dude, we got in a couple fights, like screaming matches at work. And it was just a small shop. And I think they're just like, dude, we got to let you go.
Yeah, it's just like, we got to maintain peace here.
And then I was like, oh, man, dude. And I got laid off and I started working at Fox's Pizza.
Yeah.
And then I lost my license for a month
Okay.
because of points. So
okay, yeah.
I was like in that like time of not being able to like go look for a job.
Yeah.
I was like, what can I do? Because I'm looking up machining jobs and there wasn't really like, because machining was starting to go downhill at that time just because CNCs were taking over.
Yeah, this was like 2012, 13,
Yeah,
right?
CNCs are taking over. So all these places are just hiring programmers and then just having people like my first job press start and stop all day.
That's exactly what mine was because I was in Vista. I started PTI in 2011. So I was at Vista Metals at 2010 to 2011. And I remember it being like that. Like, I remember there being, we got a bunch of CNC machines in, and then some people got laid off, but like, I didn't even ever work my way up to being a CNC guy. I worked in this place called a stomper room. So what this was, we would get orders for custom-made pieces. So it was a fab shop that did like custom. They would make either one-off pieces or small batches or even large batches. But you would use tungsten carbide powder, and you would have to like. I would get an order that said we did these things called beer cans, which were like 3-inch diameter, and then like 25 inches long or some shit. But you would have to get this metal fucking mold. And you'd have to put like this black inner tube in there, and then you just have to go get these cans of powder and use a metal cup and pour this powder into these molds while you're hitting this button with your foot that's attached to a compressor that's like tamping this thing down.
Yeah.
And dude, it was just like you had to wear a mask in there. It was just every day was so hot, and then after you made these molds, you had to put hose clamps on them, and then run them through this big ass pressure cooker, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, like I want to fucking die here because it was the same thing. You're just standing there.
Oh, it's miserable.
Nothing creative about it whatsoever. There's
Not at
nothing
all.
about your mind that is stimulated whatsoever except for going to find the right metal to put the right
It's just a
powder. to put in.
routine.
Just a routine, dude. And there was people, there was dudes that were just like smoking weed, doing pills and shit while they were there because that's how brainless it was.
Oh, yeah. Half of those dudes are like alcoholics
and
like
like
drinking all day.
It's exactly it. Dudes would just like come in all haggard, wearing the same clothes, and you know that they were out at the bar the night before.
Oh,
just
yeah.
a
They
wreck.
probably slept in the parking lot.
Exactly. And you're just like how could people stay stimulated and like stay like hungry to do better at that job? So I was just like, fuck this place. So I went to PTI, and then like I ended up getting jobs at like my first few jobs were just at these big corporate places where you're just sitting there doing nothing. So like I feel like someone with creative mindset having one of them jobs, it's like you're putting a fucking dog in a cage.
Yeah.
And just expecting it to be like fine and quiet and just not sit there. But like if you have a creative mindset, jobs like what we're doing now, I feel like is also very similar. That's another reason. Like whenever you posted that elbow, I was like, I want to talk to him about all this shit because like it's basically the same shit that I'm doing, but my way of like I'm so surprised of my mindset nowadays just because of the switch in my job. Like at one point I was like, I'm never going to do this shit for the rest of my life. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm going to do something with whatever fucking project I got going on. But like, I actually really love my job now. And it went from being super depressed to enjoying it. And it's just interesting to be able to think of it in a different way to keep your mind going in the positive rather than the negative.
Yeah. Well, where you're at now, I feel like you're problem solving. You're starting something from scratch. You're keeping your mind moving.
That's exactly
and
it.
it might not be like in a way like super creative because it is like maybe just figuring out a pipe or something. But it's getting like you're moving, like your
not
brain's
doing the
turning,
same
like
shit.
you're thinking, you're going, and it's like a new job.
You're using your own
every
thought.
other day. You might be doing something else.
That's exactly it. And that's what I think is so beneficial to having a job where you're doing different things like this.
And get to see it. Now you get to see your shit.
Yeah, that's what's cool about it too. You be able to see the finished product and it's also, I mean, it's also kind of like a double-edged sword because like I definitely fuck shit up. Like, it's just
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it happens for sure. There's like a learning curve, and like the company that I'm with now is such like an old school. Like they have their same way of doing shit that they've been doing for like since I think they started in like the 80s, like 86.
Yeah.
Like they still use like old files and shit. And
They don't
it's
like
just,
changing, dude.
Yeah, no one likes
I got
to
some guys at
change.
my shop now, like they're just like dead set on the way they did it like 30 years ago.
I know, it's because it worked. And
That's it.
There's less shit to like worry about. Like you got computers that get on and everything, but it's like you start from scratch, you get to build things. And I think like what you do would be definitely like fun and interesting because like you said, I cut you off on this 10-minute rant about welding, but so we're gonna go full circle with that. But like fuck it. How'd you get into welding?
So when I wasn't like working and I didn't have my car, I just started thinking, I was like, dude, there's like no machining jobs right now. And I was like kind of like talking to my dad, and then like for the same reason how I kind of like thought machining was cool was to make bike parts, and I was like, dude, welding's pretty tight.
You get a bike frame.
And I was like, I got weld frames, dude.
Yeah.
Or I can make this, or I can make that.
Yeah.
Like everything I did was in my mind of like, I could do something cooler with this
And make
in the
money
long
to pay
run
my bills.
and make money.
That's it.
And I was like, well, machining and welding goes hand in hand. So it's like I'm kind of just furthering my resume in the future. And if I find another machining job, I mean, being a certified welder is also a bonus to have.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to keep educating myself. And I did welding. And then like when I started school, I loved it.
You loved welding?
I loved it. I was like fully in.
Now, where did you go to school for that?
It was funny. It was All-State Career. And they like were just starting up their welding program. It was out like 885.
Yeah.
But when they first started, they didn't have like their huge welding facility yet.
Yeah.
So it was actually in Steel Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, it was wild.
Damn.
Because like
back?
Steel Center had a weld shop, but I guess back then they didn't want like kids welding.
That's a good point. I can.
But like
understand
now
that.
schools are offering.
Yeah, young ass people. Some people.
I think schools still need to like step it up.
Yeah, and let people. I think that they're still like trying to like put us all into that trap where
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, go to school, go to college, and get a degree.
Like my guidance counselor and things like that were like teachers were like not helpful.
I would love
They're
to
just
talk
like,
to
you're
my
not going to do
guidance
anything.
counselor.
You're not going to do anything.
I would love to talk to them about like, like, do you really believe in what you preach about trying to send kids to college, especially in this day and age? Like, how could school systems like really get behind what they were originally preaching with like all the advances and all the progress that we're making as a society? Like, you have to realize that more people are not going to school and they're doing trades.
Yeah.
It's just like you make more money.
Or get into the business, even if like, because not everyone is like ready to like I'm on my knees, dude. I'm climbing ladders. Like
Yeah.
I'm hanging off of stuff.
And you can feel
And
it
I'm
now,
burning
too.
myself every day. And I feel it.
Yeah, like being older.
And like some people, like you can't do that. Like we used to have like guys come in and they're like right out of school and they'll be like older than me.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, well, like I heard welding makes good money. So I kind of like went into it. And I was like, all right, well, and their shop, like welds look like shit. And then they're bitching. They're like, I'm like, hey man, you got to get under there and do that. You mean I got to crawl under that and like weld that above my head? And then it's just going to like all that,
Yeah, they don't want to do
all
the
those sparks
work.
are gonna fall on me, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like you signed up for this, man.
Yeah.
Boom, like week later, quit. So like you don't have to like some people just like not cut out for that blue collar like.
Well, they'll
grind,
find
like,
out quick.
building stuff. Like some people just aren't into it, but like there's so many other things you could do and go to school for. Like you did it.
Yeah.
Like you found a way. Like you're working in a trade,
Yeah.
but not having to be out there doing the grunt.
I feel like that you have to have part of the I mean, I'm a fucking go-getter. Like,
Yeah.
you got to be a go-getter. If you don't have a fucking job, go find one.
Yeah.
Don't be a lazy piece of shit. I'm going to make shit happen.
Yeah.
You're going to make shit happen. If you fucking lost your job tomorrow, I guarantee you wouldn't just be you might take a day and have some whiskey and just sit on the couch, but like, you know, it's not like you're just going to sit there and be like a fucking bum. And that's why I think it's like dope. Like it gives me motivation to like see shit like that you post, see shit that Todd posts. It's like all of us now, all of our friends are older. We're all becoming adults and we're all dealing with all this fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Buying houses, paying bills, paying for fucking weddings that you don't even remember.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my, we'll get into that,
That was
after
a
this.
hell.
I know, we'll get into that. But like it's like, you know, we're doing all this shit and everything sucks. We're all getting older. There's only so many hours in a day, but like we're all still like making progress into working at what we want to do. It's like you definitely could be miserable and like don't get me wrong, I have my bad days going to work where I don't want to fucking go at all. You know, quick call off, hey, I'm sick. But like, you know, it could be way worse. We could be way worse.
Well, I see it as like sometimes I think about it and I'll be like, oh, dude, I could be doing exactly what I want to be doing in welding, like building bike frames or doing side work. Like there's things I want to get into and do on the side. I just like,
It's
just
the right
taking
time,
my
the right
time
place.
doing it. Like I don't want to like start this huge company, but I would like to do side work.
Yeah.
Because I bought a welder to do side work.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations.
like even doing like, oh, I could be building bike frame. Like, dude, I could be doing my dream and you're still gonna have bad days doing your dream.
But it's all balance.
Yeah, it's about like, dude, I get to build bike frames every day, but then like the next day you're like, dude, all I'm doing is building bike frames every day, and you're like, this sucks.
It's
like,
all necessary
it's just-
evil what we're
it's
doing
all,
right now.
Yeah, there's ups and downs to all of it.
Yeah, for sure. That's now in a perfect world, that's what you would want to do is like fab like small parts and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
I kind of like to just do
like
my
cool-
own little thing. Like my ideal, like when I bought like my welder for home, like dude, I got like a name. I had like this name set out. I was like, I'm gonna start this company.
Yeah.
And dude, just welding's just so expensive to like. It's not a quick startup, dude.
Yeah.
Like just buying the welder was expensive.
I bet.
And then, like I want to do like custom furniture stuff,
That would be sick.
like cool coffee
Yeah, like
tables,
tables
and then
and
like I
shit.
could like build it to what you want
yeah.
and do all kind of like little things. And then I was like I want to get my one certification to work and do the barrels and stuff you see at like breweries. And like you could like fix those, but like that's
That
like
would
a
be
certain
dope.
cert with those because it's like food sanitation.
That's true.
But
Now-
like that's another thing, and that's a good side gig right there.
yeah, for sure. I bet it would be.
And like that's all like stuff I want to do in the future, but right now it's just not feasible. But that's like you were saying before, like what keeps you going.
Yeah, you got to be
like
logical
at your
about
day
it.
job, it's thinking about what I'm building to get.
Yeah,
because
you're
right now
working
this
towards.
job has me doing all kind of stuff, working all kind of different materials, TIG, MIG, flux core, all of it. Like you're doing it all from start to finish. And I was like, all this is doing is building me as a
More
better
tools in the
welder,
toolbox.
and taking me up, and it's just helping me out for my future.
Fuck yeah, dude. It gets
But
me,
that's
I got
what gets
motivation
me,
right
that's
now.
what I mean, though. But that, like, everybody's just like, oh, dude, like, look at that. He's just like this blue collar dude.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, dude, go to work, have lunch, go
Yeah,
home,
but
drink
I-
a beer. But like,
I
in
knew
my
it.
mind, I'm like, I'm just furthering my education and
Exactly.
learning more. And this work is going to pay for me to go get my certifications and get the things I need to do my little side stuff.
For sure.
Like, dude, I fixed the chairs at Streets.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
And like I
that's-
was pumped, and I was just like helping Matt
Man, Streets on
out-
Carson.
out with some
You already
chairs,
know
dude.
it's Streets
like, a
on
couple of them
Carson.
were like a little, like the rails were going. I
Quick
picked
fix.
them up, did it.
Yeah, like I mean, and you
But
can't
like
help
that was
it, though.
tight. I was like, I want to do that. I want to repair, like even if I could just repair something for somebody.
Yeah, be able to create and like do so, like help someone out that you care about.
Yeah,
With the stuff that you do.
exactly.
You know, that's what's dope. Like people will hit me up. Like some people have hit me up on here and was like, dude, like I listened to you. Like someone hit me up whenever I talked to Antoinette on here, and they were like, you know, like hearing you talk with your wife about shit, like just like people getting reactions from this podcast, like it makes me pumped. It's the same shit. It's like, you know, if people listen to this shit, it makes me fucking happy. I was at emo night the other night. Random people came up and was like, hey, you run this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, they were like, we didn't know if we want to say hi or not. I'm just like, fuck yeah, say hi. It's just like, I'm pumped about this.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm doing it? It's just like, I
Just
do this
be-
shit
do it
because
to be miserable.
I am one of these dudes that's working 9 to 5, that's listening to all this shit every single day.
Yeah.
That keeps me, all this shit keeps me motivated, dude. Like, that's all it is.
But like even doing a podcast at night, like you could go into work the next day just stoked. You're like, dude,
Exactly.
that other night with that person was sick. Like such a good convo.
It's
I
every
loved
Thursday.
It.
When I
And then
drop
you
a
go
new
into
episode,
work just like, fuck yeah, let's crush shit.
bro, whenever I drop in every Wednesday night, whenever I'm sitting here putting out an episode and Antoinette's here and I put one out and I hit submit, it makes me feel like I have like a release of everything, because like it's all built up, and it's just like, I get that these are all just like bullshit like conversations, like we're not even talking about anything really, but like I think that there's peace in knowing that there's other people out there that are thinking the same way and doing the same way and making it and living the same way you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be the only person thinking like, oh, I wonder if like, you know, like there's people that are thinking like, oh, am I doing the right shit? Am I like working hard enough and everything? And am I the only person that fucking hates their job and everything? Like, you're definitely not the only person that fucking hates their job. Like, everyone hates their job to a certain extent, and like people want to do different things. I don't know, dude. I got in a super, super motivational type mood right there. But
Even like think about it. Like you could be like a billionaire running this huge company. You think they're just like happy every day?
Never.
Like you're not. Like you need
It's
something,
all
whether
balance.
it's like your job or like get a hobby.
Yeah.
Or like just get
a
stoked
hobby,
on
dude.
something.
Like, get stoked on something.
just
That's
get
all it is.
pumped, dude.
You gotta have a creative outlet to just be stoked on
Dude,
something.
like even this, like doing this, like gets me stoked. Like when
I'm
you
pumped.
started it, I even remember texting you, like, "Dude, that's tight. Like I'm pumped you're doing that.
I
Like you're a
appreciate
good talker.
that.
Like just when we used to hang out in the back of the day, dude, we used to just sit on the couch and bullshit, and we would just be howling. And I was just like, this is perfect for him.
Just
I was
because
like,
everyone
this
has
is like
interesting
He gets
lives.
to pick people's mind like he always liked to.
Right.
And like when you start, I was like, dude, that pumped me up. And I'm going to work pumped, and like what you're doing has nothing to do with my life, but I was stoked off.
You
of
just
it.
get motivation
I
from
was
other
just stoked.
creative
I was like,
people.
dude, killing it.
I appreciate that.
It's like when you see a like a sick like Instagram clip of a skateboarder and like just does something gnarly, and you're like pumped. You don't even know why you're pumped, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like you did it. And you're just like, holy shit.
I know, dude.
And you just get pumped off of it.
I think having social media is bittersweet, because like it's dope to be able to like have that like motivation at your hand.
Yeah.
But it's also discouraging and distracting.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like it's cool to be able to see things and get inspiration from it on Instagram whenever you want, and like see other people, but it's also like toxic to like, you know, I'll sit on my, like last night I posted, like I've been doing this giveaway. Side note for anyone that's thinking about it, I'm doing a giveaway note right now, no big deal. Win a pin, hoodie, no big deal. Check it out on Instagram. I'll call you right back. But I'm doing this giveaway, so like I'm just like on my phone. It's fucking attached
You're
to me
gonna
right now.
constantly check it.
Always looking at it, and Antoinette was like, hey, you been on your phone all night? And I'm just like, fuck, like I really have. Like literally all night I was on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh, it's fucking gross to think about that.
It's the worst, dude.
But it's like, I get so amped up about this shit. Like, even if it's just a fucking conversation, it amps me up.
yeah.
And I don't know, dude. It's dope.
I've been trying to put like my phone down more. Like
mean-
I stopped checking Facebook, and like I'll scroll through Instagram, and I'll be like at the house, and like sometimes I'll notice it's just like me and my wife were just sitting there, we're both scrolling. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, let's hang out.
yeah, we'll have a TV show on.
Yeah.
And I'll be on my phone, and I'll look over, and she'll be on her phone, and I'll be like, ugh.
The
And
worst.
Yeah, and you're just like, God, like all them times that we're sitting there and we're both just next to each other, but we're not even paying attention to each other.
Yeah.
You're like, all them minutes, you'll literally murder someone for it down later
Yeah.
in life. You know, like whenever I'm fucking dying or something like that. You're
Yeah.
like, that hour I was just sitting on the couch looking at that
hanging
phone,
out.
miserable. Now, we mentioned that you got married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're a married man. How does it feel?
Honestly, it kind of just feels like exactly
The same. If you lived with your wife before, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different is you get more money back on your tax return and your car insurance is cheaper.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's the only positives, really. Or not the only positives. It's all positive.
Yeah.
Life is a positive. But like monetary possessions, that's the only positive.
Yeah, everybody always asks that. They're like, "What's it like now being married?" I'm just like,
Well, that's the only reason
like,
I ask.
especially like Thanksgiving and getting it from all your family. Like, what's it like? And I'm just like, I don't know. We're still doing the same thing.
I
man.
had somewhat of a sarcastic undertone whenever I asked it because like that was like what that was.
Yeah,
like,
I knew what you were doing.
the common, like,
because that's that question all the time.
it's literally the same thing. But you guys got married. Now, your experience of a wedding, I want to know how it was. Now, you had a smaller wedding. How many people did you have?
I think it was like it ended up being like 100 some.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was small for some reason.
No, we had a pretty big wedding.
Oh my God. I thought it was like, for some reason, I swear I saw pictures where it was in like where was
It
it?
was in South Park at that clock building. Oh, by the
my
the police
God.
station. You know, they used to do like the Rib Fest in
Yep.
that one building.
Yep.
But like when you open those doors, dude, that place was huge. It holds like almost 400 people, I think.
Holy shit. That's probably why I thought it was small.
Yeah, because it looked tiny. And I
Yeah.
was like, damn, we got good people here, and it looks like no one's here.
Now, in your experience of a wedding, I just offhand, do you remember your day?
I like little parts of it.
Just blips.
Yeah,
It fades in and out, right?
real quick.
Were you drinking?
After, dude, I was so nervous. I was like, dude, if I would like start drinking early, I was like, I'll be shit faced before I say I do.
know, right?
And I was like, I can't do it. I was like,
You were nervous though?
oh yeah, dude.
Were you?
Because I'm weird with like talking in front of people, and like I wasn't nervous about like getting married. Like
Yeah.
this is our day. I was more like vows,
Yeah.
walking down.
You wrote your own vows?
Yeah.
Now, whenever I was walking up to do my vows, I wasn't nervous about it. I was just more, I just wanted to be able to not cry while I was reading it.
Yeah.
Because I knew that if I would, it would have like made it inaudible for people to hear.
Oh yeah, it's game over.
Yeah, just been game over. Now, but you remember it pretty much.
Yeah, but I was doing the same thing because I was like getting teary eyed.
Yeah.
Saying my vows, hands shaking.
Oh my God,
And,
it's
like-
nuts. Did she read hers first?
No, I read mine first. I think.
She read
See,
hers
I-
first, and it wrecked me because
Oh, yeah.
she read hers, and I think she read hers first. Yeah,
Dude, I can't even remember either now.
that's what I'm saying.
You don't remember.
You pay this fucking money. Like, I think our wedding was like probably $16,000.
Yeah.
On the low end. I'm pretty sure, just a ballpark, which is outrageous because you're sitting there thinking, you're like 16 grand could buy a quarter of a house.
Yeah.
You just put that money down on a house, and it's like I didn't even drink, and I was just like, it went so fast for me. And you're just like, fuck, like half the people that are like, you know, the people that before you have a wedding, they're like, you ain't even going to realize it. It's just going to fly right by.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, dude. All right. But then it really does. Now, are you happy that you had a big wedding?
I mean, parts of me have like, you know what? I'm kind of, because at first we weren't even going to do it. Like we were just going to get legally married, go on a honeymoon.
Oh, really?
And like, because our goal was like, we just wanted to be married,
Yeah.
go on a cool vacation, and then go buy a house.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you know, your parents want to see you guys, and
Selfish as
yeah,
fuck.
so stupid.
Selfish.
And so we're like, fine, we'll have this wedding, but it's like year and a half of stress.
oh my God. Did you plan some of it? Like, were you involved with it?
Dude, it was all her.
Yeah, like
I sucked at it, like, because like she'll be like, oh, like, what do you think, like this or that? I'm like,
the dude, and you know what? You want to
you
know
ain't
what
gonna listen to what I'm gonna say.
every
if I
dude
change
is
my mind.
thinking? Every dude is thinking, you know what? Whatever you're more happy with, go ahead, because I don't give a fuck
go
what
for
color
it.
napkins. you
Yeah,
have.
like I can't tell you how you have your idea how you want it set up.
Every girl does.
Dude, I could just party. Like,
I just didn't care.
Couple kegs and celebrate.
Do you care if there's white napkins or cranberry colored napkins? I could not care less.
Like, we didn't even want to do a cake. We ended up doing a cake.
It was a waste.
Yeah.
I bought a cake. Dude, not a person ate it.
We had so much cake left.
It was messed up. It was messed up. Now, you got pretty turned up after?
Yeah, dude, I didn't even get like that fucked up at my wedding because like you're busy hosting and like walking around and like
saying
seeing
hello to
aunt
everyone
you haven't seen or some friend of a friend's that got invited and just, now you're having this weird awkward conversation with them.
Well, I haven't seen you in 8 years. How you been?
And I'm just like, and then you're looking around and you're just seeing your friends raging, drinking all your free booze, like just having a blast. And I'm like, that could be me.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted. But like I'm over here like making my rounds.
I probably walked around for 2 hours during my wedding just saying hello to people.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
And that's what me and her like wanted to avoid. We just wanted to have like a party. We didn't want like formal.
Yeah.
Did you do like we don't want to walk around and like
did you just do like the garter and the bouquet toss and all that shit? See, that's good. You know, no one even knew shit was going on. The DJ we had, it was his first DJ gig of all time. He's some young kid. You know, it was just such a bizarre experience. It was dope though. Like my wedding couldn't have went better. It was nice and cold. You know, like people weren't fucking sweating to death.
Yeah, that was ours too.
Yeah. When did you get married?
It was September 8th.
September 8th.
And it was super hot because we rented the venue out for 3 days.
3?
Because we set it up ourselves on Friday, had the wedding Saturday, and where I was like, dude, I ain't setting this stuff up. Like, taking this stuff down after our wedding.
Yeah, the night after.
Like, we're going to the hotel and party.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we had it Sunday, too, just to set down and everything. Just to make it easy, not worry about it.
Weddings, though, I think that now that I am done with it, I think that I would not do it again. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I think we wouldn't either.
Whatever. But married life is pretty much the same. What's it like buying a house? How much of a pain in the ass is it?
So annoying. And I feel like it shouldn't be as hard as it needs to be.
What's annoying about it? Because
just all the paperwork. Then like they go through every little like penny you ever spent. And it's just like back and forth. It's a lot of back and forth. And like we have our guy and then the guy gives it to like the person that does his work for him. And then it's just back and forth talking to the owner. And like ours went a little bit easier just because we went through just the owner of the house.
Oh, yeah?
Like we have no realtor or anything.
Oh, that's dope.
So like we got to bypass a lot and kind of just like find which bank to go through, have them work the numbers, who's got the best numbers, who's got the best deal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it was.
Now, whenever you were looking for a house, did you specifically look for someone that was for sale by owner?
No, my mom actually found it, and she was like, I think you guys would really like this house. Because, like, we stopped looking for houses because of the wedding. Because we're like, dude, we don't want to buy a house before the wedding.
Yeah.
And then we bought it a month before.
That's all right, though. Fuck it.
It was the worst. But she was like, oh, you should check this out. Like, it was on Zillow.
Yeah.
And it was, like, around the area we wanted to be. Still wanted to be, like, in the city, close to the city. But, like, have that suburban feel, backyard.
Yeah, still outside a little bit.
Still wanted, like, a nice backyard, fence it in. Have a dog running around.
Right? That's all I want.
That's what we wanted. Like we wanted a nice backyard, but like still take a $5 Uber downtown and go get some good food.
Yeah, and get wrecked.
Yeah.
Get some good food at Streets on Carson.
Yeah. Get
right
those
across from
cocktails,
Jack's.
dude, if you want to get
all turned up. Now, in your experience, is it a positive? Like, have you had more positive experiences with the house or like a negative experience? Like, you have to do a lot of shit with your house?
Yeah, we bought it as kind of like a fixer-upper.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it was move-in ready, and you could, like, deal with it. But, like, we saw it as, like, we got it for a good price, and we were, like, the potential of, like, making it the way we wanted to. Like, the master bedroom, I already, like, ripped the ceiling out, put all new drywall up, working on this, like, custom closet for it.
No big deal or nothing.
Just doing it.
Now, you have any experience in that type of work at all?
Just kind of growing up with my dad.
Yeah.
Like he had me do, like I grew up like anything around the house because he's like, one day you're going to appreciate this.
Yeah.
And like I'd like built a deck. We laid drywall in the basement, redoing that.
Did you remember how to do it all?
No, because I ended up like calling him and having him come over and help. But like I remember parts. Like I get the gist of it. And
Yeah.
You kind of just go with it.
Now, I bet you it feels like fulfilling, like doing shit to your own house.
Oh hell yeah!
Like you enjoy it.
You hate it for the whole time you're doing it, and
Yeah.
then like when you're done, you're just like, fuck yeah,
For
that's
sure.
tight. I did that.
Now, that's dope though. I mean, it's dope that you have a house, and I mean, it's dope that you're. I mean, I just can't wait to be able to like work on my own shit and try to do it and try to make it work.
It's fun to learn something.
Sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's stressful too, though. Now, what's like the next move for you? Like, what's your plans? Just gonna work on this house, keep grinding.
Yeah, we want to like add a garage to it, finish all the rooms, the bedrooms, the living room. Basement's like your Pittsburgh basement.
Now, what about the work life? What you got planned for that? Just
Work?
keep grinding.
Yeah, keep going at this place. I would like to like get to a level like I want to keep. Like I told the guy, my boss now, and I was just like, as long as I would like keep growing and learning, and like see my potential here, like I'll be here.
Yeah, you'll stay there.
Yeah, and I was like, when that stops, I'll go find something else. He was just like, all right, man, because he was just like, well, you know, this guy's gonna be retiring in like 5 years, and he's like, we're gonna need a new foreman. Like I would like to be a foreman.
Yeah,
Like run a shop.
yeah.
Like I don't want the responsibility of owning one.
But you want to still be able to like organize.
Yeah,
like,
because I don't want to be breaking my back when I'm like 50 some years old. Like
that makes sense.
I want my coffee, make sure everybody's doing their shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
for
walk
sure.
around. But I would still probably end up doing stuff because like I can't just sit around.
Yeah,
But I want to like, and that just keep getting certs to do, just be qualified in other styles of welding. So if I do want to go somewhere, the experience I have at all the shops I've been at, and then paper, the shit I have on paper,
just keep building a resume.
builds it. Like I want to get my inspection license. That's like a hard thing. Like
Have you ever heard of a holiday test?
no.
So I just learned about this actually. A holiday test is to test the paint and the finish on pipes. So what they do is people will paint a pipe and they have this like wand with a sponge on it that you wet this sponge and you drag it along the pipe, and if there's any like pinholes in the paint, it beeps because like the water touches the metal and it's like a conductor, so the circuit like you have a ground on the pipe, so like it completes a circuit and it'll beep. And I thought it was so sick like learning about that. I don't know why.
insane.
Yeah, I've never heard about that in my life. But another thing I was gonna ask you about was like you were mentioning doing welding for like the big tanks for beer distributors and breweries and shit.
Yeah.
Now, you ever have any thought about doing like underwater welding?
I did for a minute when I was like a little bit younger in the game.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that crazy dangerous?
dude, yeah, it's insane.
Like
Like it scares the shit out of me.
what's dangerous about it? Just the fact of like
I think like honestly it's pretty safe because people are doing it. Like I think there's just so many safety codes, but like I think it's a lot on your body.
Yeah.
Because you're going under, and then like you're really doing that like deep. I think you're like in a compression tank all the time.
That's a
you're
good
in
point.
and out. You're only welding for so long, and then you're in a tank, and then you're out, and like everything I've ever heard about, that's like a kind of like gig you get for a while,
you make some
cash
money.
out,
Yep.
and like go in like and then just like get out.
That's
I
one
think
thing,
it's the coolest thing ever, but like it freaks me out.
It's definitely wild. That's one thing that like I was never like there's dudes in high school you go to school with that are like, fuck it, I'll work on an oil field and just cash out like that, but that was just never something that I wanted to do.
I don't want to work that much.
I never wanted to be away and like be disconnected that much.
Exactly.
I'd rather have an okay amount of money and be able to do stuff than rather than like being away for 2 weeks and then come back for a week and like
That's my
ride
same
around
mindset. I'm
my
like,
Range
dude,
Rover.
I could like go out in the oil field and weld these pipes.
Yeah, for
but like
sure.
I don't want to like be in a hotel all the time and like
Yeah, wanna
and
be
then you
around
don't
your
even have the
family.
time to like enjoy that money. Like mad respect for those guys that do that. Like
Absolutely.
it's sick, but like what I want like is definitely not that.
Yeah, make that
Like I
paper.
want to go home and like make a nice stiff whiskey and make dinner with my wife and
Right.
like bullshit about our day.
it's the best.
Like I want that. Like
Ain't
I don't
nothing
want to
better
just
than
be
that.
like chilling with some like weird, smelly other welder dude, like in the hotel.
Nothing better than just coming home
And be like,
cooking
oh,
some
I got all
food.
this money. Can't do nothing with it.
Not a thing. Not a lick with it.
And like you could still make good money without having to take those like crazy jobs.
Just balance, dude. Everything in
Yeah.
life is balance.
Like I don't need big fancy things around. Like I got a decent truck. And
Simple man.
just keep it.
That's
keep
all
it
it is.
simple.
Now, when is the Aftermath AD reunion?
Dude, we talk about this all the time. I try to bring it back all the time. Like when
I
we're
know you
drinking,
do.
I'm like, dude, we could do this.
You should just have one weekend of just like dudes going, like just go to a camp or something somewhere, just get all fucked up and record a little E EP.
We were just actually talking the other day. Todd finally got like all of his old equipment at his dad's house,
Yeah.
at his parents' house, and I think we were talking. We're like, dude, it's too hard to like get together all the time. We'll all like figure out, like we'll like Skype and just send each other tracks, and he's like, and then we'll just jam, put it together. And I was like, dude, I wish Aftermath would play another show, or even if we just put out music, like just put it right out there.
What if we this is what I was thinking about this morning, because like after you were like, yeah, I'll come over tonight and we'll do a podcast, I started like listening to music and like getting nostalgia, like building it up and everything. And I was thinking like, what if we organized a show with all the old bands that were all around in them years, and just like everyone just played like one or two songs? Who would give a fuck what you would sound like?
Yeah,
Just
you
like,
could easily remember too. So, dude, it would be the funnest night,
right?
ever.
Imagine all them funny ass bands coming and
Yeah.
just like playing a couple songs.
I've been jamming with like Porter and the dudes that used to be. Well, some of the guys used to be Macy and back then, and
Yeah.
Macy was huge back then.
Yep. Porter's gonna be on here soon enough.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
An interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
I
I lived
wanna
with
have
him for a
one.
while too. It was fun. He's the
I
best.
bet.
I mean, he married us.
I know. So that's
It
another.
was tight.
Now I told Antoinette. Antoinette was like, "Oh yeah, I know who he is. I met him a few times." And she was like, "What was he like back then?" And I was like, "Oh, he was all big into the music scene, and like, she was like, what band were they in?" And I showed her your band, and she was like, "Oh, a little bit heavy for me." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you couldn't handle this." Like they were
Yes,
wearing
dude.
like No Gods, No King shirts, Faith Free clothing. Shout out Jeff, he listens.
Oh, Jeff's the best.
He's gonna be on here soon enough. I just talked to him, but yeah, man. All right, let's get to the best part of the podcast.
All right.
So the end of this podcast, I do with everyone. Are you a fan of The Office?
I've watched it. I'm not like crazy about it.
Not crazy about
Like
it.
I think it's good. I'm just
That's all right.
I'm
That's
not
all right.
caught with it.
It's all right. I'll let it go. So I do Desert Island questions. I give people 3 categories, and you get 3 choices for each category to take with you to watch, read, and listen to on a desert island. So the first category, you could choose anything of any platform to watch. It could be a whole series, whole seasons, whatever.
Movie would definitely be Hot Rod.
Oh, that's good. I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day.
Life short, stun it.
That's so good.
Dude, that dude's my hero.
The stunt life.
Dude, it's so funny. I'd probably do something like I like Vikings.
Vikings.
Like that season was tight. Like the series.
What's that about? What's that on? I said, what's
it's
it
on
about?
history. It's on. I think it's the History Channel.
Hey, what's Vikings
It's like
about?
the-
Oh, it's about the football team.
It's like the Game of Thrones style.
Is
Like,
it
but
sick,
it's just
though?
Vikings. Yeah, they're just fucking
I can get down with the
Wrecking people.
Norwegians.
wrecking people, stealing land, doing
That's-
like cool shit Vikings do.
Raping and pillaging.
Dude, just fucking
What
killing
American
it.
was built off of. So what'd you say first? You said
Hot Rod,
yeah, Hot Rod Vikings.
Vikings. Dude, I couldn't really think, but I would definitely pick like some corny movie. Dude, I like corny movies.
It's all right. I do too.
They're so good. I just can't think of one right now. Dude, you know what? I actually go back to series and I'll do Gossip Girl again.
Oh man,
I would.
That is my.
I just
shit.
restarted it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we already finished it. Like she
Did
started
you ever
to get
watch
me
it
to
before
watch
that?
it.
You never watched it before?
No, I watched it as like straight binge.
Okay, so this was just recent.
Yeah, probably it was right. Yeah,
Okay. Now let's get into this for a second. Now, Gossip Girl, I looked it up, 121 hours. Okay, so we watched it for 121 hours, which is ridiculous. I got into it strictly because I saw a meme. All right, I saw a meme of Chuck Bass talking to who's B's boyfriend? Nate. That's it, Nate.
Yeah.
So Chuck Bass says he says something, but I was like, damn, this is dope. Started watching Gossip Girl, and it was literally that scene. I was like, meant to be. So I got so deep into it that at my job 2 jobs ago, I would call off, binge watch,
just binge it.
15 hours of it. I remember I watched probably a whole season in one 24-hour period. I just would not stop.
Dude, that was me. Like, because she's already seen it before.
It's
and
so
she was
good.
Like, I think she was rewatching it. And then she was like, you gotta watch this. I was like, dude, this is corny as shit.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, dude, I'm obsessed. Started because I like watched like mid-season.
Oh yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. And then I got like invested in it. And I was like, I can't keep watching it. So I started watching it on my own to catch up to where dude, I would just
now who's
I would
your
do
favorite
shit on
character?
a Sunday and just do it.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh man.
I mean, it has to be Chuck Bass.
Chuck Bass is just the dude. In the beginning, I love him because, like, in the beginning, you're just like, what a fucking douche, but he kills it at the end, dude.
Oh, my
it's
God.
Like, he's rad, dude.
Yeah,
you can't.
The man. Absolutely the man. Even though, I mean, in real life, he had some sexual allegations. He got Me Too'd.
Oh, did he really?
Oh, yeah. In real life, he did, I think.
Oh.
But, that show, though, I remember people in high school talking about that. And, like, I remember it XOXO, but, like, I was into it.
Dude, I was always.
Did you know that he was the Gossip Girl? Hey, for anyone that's listening, been out for like a decade.
It's out.
Sorry about it.
I always had my thought of it because he was always in the background.
Yeah, and he was like the
But
artsy
then they were
type.
they were so good at like twisting it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, fuck.
And you wonder why, like, this is, so for anyone that doesn't know, Gossip Girl is basically just a soap opera that's for teens and young adults. That's literally it. It's about rich kids in Manhattan that are just like, it's about their lives. What a life of a rich teen would be. So, of course they're getting into murders and drugs and stealing and everything like that. And it's literally, it feeds that addiction that you have of drama that you want. Like, the drama,
Yeah.
the same one that you're like, oh, what's his name's going to fight someone after 4th period in the B stairwell. And you're like, oh shit, you already know I'm going to watch that. But that's what this type of drama fills. 121 hours. If you watch it. It's pretty fucking good.
So good.
That is a good answer. I definitely like that answer.
I just restarted. That's like what made me think. I was like, oh yeah, dude, fuck.
My wife won't watch it.
What?
She says it's fucking dumb. She was like, I ain't watching this. She won't watch Harry Potter.
See, I don't really fuck with Harry Potter. My wife's super into it. She
Come
like
on.
she's like, you gotta watch all the movies. And I've watched like I think 1.5.
Just give me one reason why you don't like it. Tell me why.
I don't like not like it, but it's like not my. I'm not gonna be like, I can really go for tonight, Harry Potter.
But what about it is not for you as much? You don't think you don't like any of the whole like wizards and
I think that stuff's cool, but I don't know. I just can't. I never got into books. Like the movies look cool, but
Yeah.
like nothing's just like, dude,
That's all
sit
right.
down and just like watch all.
That's all right. I'll allow it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. But okay, so you got Vikings, you got Hot Rod, and you got Gossip Girl. Those are solid picks. Those feel happy. Those feel your drama and like crazy.
Yeah, some murder shit.
Yeah, some murder type shit. Those are good. Those are good choices. Now, do you read?
No.
Okay. Now, I usually will ask people for 3 books, and then the consolation prize is 3 video games, which I know you don't play. Now, I'll do a different one. Let's say I can't even say music because that's the 3rd category.
Yeah.
Now let's say
I did read one book before though.
What book?
Matt Hoffman, The Ride of My Life. Sickest book.
He said I did read one book.
It was like the book I bought. I was like, it wasn't a school related, and it
Yeah.
was just like I remember he came out. I got it on dance comp.
Oh
It was
shit!
sick.
Back in the day. When's
was
the
like-
last time you read a book?
Probably around then, dude.
When
Like
was
I don't
that?
really read. That was like high school days.
Yeah. See, it's hard for me to read. I try to.
I can't say I got to do like I want to get into it. Like I bought books.
Yeah.
And just I'm not good at just sitting there.
It's all right. Now,
Like
what
I need to
about-
like put them on audio or something and listen to them at work.
That makes sense for sure.
I think that's what I need to do. I just can't sit.
Okay, so I'll change it up then. Instead of books, what are 3 podcasts that you like?
Oh man,
You listen to a lot, don't you?
so many.
That's what I thought.
So many. Dude, do you know what's real good right now that just came out? The Whiskey Ginger
I don't know what that is.
with he was on Joe Rogan. He's a comedian.
Oh, that's with
That Andrew.
Andrew Santino.
Yeah, dude, so funny.
Everyone says that he's the man.
Kills it. Like
I'm gonna
even
have
his
to listen to
appearance
him.
on like Joe Rogan and like Fighter and the Kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
like,
listen
He's
to him.
just hilarious, dude.
So many people have been telling me about
And he's
him.
like quick talker and it's
Yeah.
just funny. But definitely I listen to like a lot of like murder mystery, like missing people shit.
Now let me-
like last podcast on the left is pretty tight.
Sick. Now let me expose you to something. Now, there's this podcast I just finished today. Mind you, remember our conversation about football? I don't give a fuck about it. There's a podcast out called Gladiator, and it's about Aaron Hernandez.
I was gonna start that the other day.
It is insane.
Is it?
It's you'll listen to it in one day. For anyone that's listening, Aaron Hernandez is a tight end or was a tight end, RIP. Not RIP. Dude's dead. Oh well. He was a scumbag. Anyway, he was a tight end for the New England Patriots. He was like, he got like committed to Florida whenever he was like 17, went to the NFL after like a year playing there. It's just, he has an insane story, but he ended up playing for the Patriots, becoming like the best rookie or some shit. I don't know the terminology, but then just started killing people and can't do that. And this podcast Gladiator like completely deconstructs it all, and like it's basically just like Serial. Did you listen to that?
Yeah.
It's basically like that, but just about this. But you don't have to like football to like it. It's just a murder mystery.
I was
type thing.
about to start it because I kind of knew that dude's story.
It's unreal,
and it like showed up on the charts because I
It's
was like,
way
like those
different.
days where you don't have a podcast to
Yeah,
listen
and
to.
you just go
So you
through-
start. You're like, oh man, what can I get
100%.
into? You know what was real good? That's like pretty new is Happy Face.
I didn't listen to that. What's that?
It's the serial killer. He was like a truck driver, and like on his routes and shit, he was just like murdering women.
Oh shit!
Which is like fucked up, but the daughter is the one
He's
like,
just, like, fucked
doing the podcast.
Oh,
Like the daughter,
shit.
because she was just like,
Of the dad.
do I have what he has? Like, can I not feel emotion? And am I gonna be like a psychopath like him?
Oh, I
And
gotta
it's
listen.
really good.
Probably
Dude. My
gonna
wife
listen
told
to
me
it
about
tomorrow.
it.
Do you?
Dude, I binged that one.
Do you like comedy podcasts?
Yeah,
Have you ever listened to the Crab Feast?
yeah, dude.
Like,
Did you hear Ryan Single's new special?
I didn't listen to
Dude,
it yet.
so funny. Listen to it.
Out of any podcast of all podcasts, the Crab Feast with Jay Larson and Ryan Sickler is hands down my favorite podcast that I've ever listened to.
RIP to that soon, dude.
I know they're about to be
I'm
on the like,
bummed.
their
That was
4
on my
episodes
rotation,
left.
too.
Absolutely on your rotation, but they're starting 2 new podcasts.
Yeah, which is gonna be good.
the Honeydew and the Through Line.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Finding Richard Simmons?
Yeah.
Unreal,
Dude,
Hey,
so good.
If you guys like mystery shit,
Forgot about that one.
there is a podcast called Searching for Richard Simmons or Finding Richard
I
Simmons
think it's gonna be stupid, but it ain't.
about Richard Simmons. And just like he said, you thought it was going to be dumb. You put it on, it is unreal. Richard Simmons is a fucking gangster. But anyway, so you got those.
Your mom's house definitely for comedy.
Yeah, hilarious.
So funny.
I love them. Even though I wasn't a big fan of Christina Pajitsky's new comedy, her new special on the Degenerates. I loved her Mother Inferior just because.
The one that was a full hour on Netflix.
Yeah, I thought that one was
I thought
good.
it was good, but like,
Yeah, but it was definitely better than her other one.
yeah, for sure.
The
I
other
didn't
one-
really care for the Degenerates one.
She was like it's like trying to be as weird as you can. Did you watch Big J's?
Yeah, dude, he's hilarious.
That's the best special I've seen in a long time.
That's
Besides
the
for John
stand up
Mullins.
I like. Like
John
I like
Mulaney's.
his dude. He was like smooth with it.
He goes, got a big old face of bush. It was so funny.
It's so good.
Okay, so you got 3 podcasts. All right, last category is 3 musical albums to take with you.
I would go with Stray from the Path, Make Your Own History.
Ooh.
Album's tight.
Right.
Everything they do. Varials.
I never listened to them. You're the second
You
person
would be
that told me
super
about
into
them.
them.
I think it was either Ricky or Jeff that told me about
You would
that.
get pumped.
Yeah. Varials.
Philly band, dude. So hard.
Varials. I got to remember to listen to him.
Then I would need like a chiller, dude. I'd need some like Gary Clark Jr.
Oh, you into Gary Clark?
or some like Alabama Shakes or something.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Something
for
like
sure.
that. I love a good like
Chill.
female band too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Now, I usually go to the Death Row meal, but no, nostalgia bands. You get 3 nostalgia bands to choose. Like, I'm talking like nostalgic. Like, my nostalgic bands, Newfound Glory, Something Corporate / Jack's Mannequin, and like Chiodos.
Oh,
like,
man.
That's nostalgia.
I would do Armor for Sleep
Oh, so good.
for sure. Man, that's tricky.
It is tricky, right?
Because there's just like so many.
I honestly had no idea where this podcast was going to go. You know, like I wanted to talk to you about like work and machine shops and stuff, but like I also know that like we have a lot of other shit in common, like music, skateboarding, and all that. So like I said, I don't have a fucking template for this thing.
Dude, actually, do a big throwback. I was super into this group when I was a kid, and like Jurassic 5.
Oh my god,
Dude.
I know all about them.
Dude, I was obsessed with them.
Yeah,
I think I had their like cassette.
and he starts rapping over it. Super mean. Jurassic Harlem. I think that's how it was called.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that was dope. That's good.
Dude, you know, Lucera,
Oh,
without a doubt.
yeah, that's good
That
stuff.
dude would hit you with all the feels.
Yeah, sweet little thing.
Dude,
Those are good for sure. Those are all solid choices. No one's picked them yet as a desert
surprised,
island.
dude.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
I feel like your crew back in the day was huge on them too.
They were definitely like, I don't know of other people. I never met another group of friends that like listened to them.
Yeah.
You know, that was around in high school. People were listening to them.
Yeah.
You know, Chain Link Fence was like blasting while we were just like fucking skating, and you know that kind of shit it's pretty wild. Really is.
That's how I got into them, was through like hanging out with like Kriv and them.
Like Riker and everyone.
Yeah.
Like loose.
And it just became the anthem, dude.
Too good. Okay, so second to last question is Death Row meal. So you can choose whatever you want from wherever you want, as much as you want.
Dude, I would do Streets Philly.
Shit. Streets on Carson.
And that pork egg roll, dude. And
the
that
pork egg roll. Bro,
And
listen
that
to me.
sauce.
Did you try the meatballs that he just put on the menu?
I haven't yet. We haven't been down there.
Shoo. Chef Matt always on point.
Dude, for a while there, dude, we were there like a lot. It was like we were we should probably like not be here all the time.
Yeah,
like
you
we
beat
were
it-
there all the time.
Beat it to death. But like honestly,
You'd never get sick.
never get sick of it. Everything is good, and like, you know, Matt always hooks it up, and he's always like, so what haven't I got you yet? And he'll send down a sampler of some wild shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Always hooking it up. And I can't gas up Streets on Carson enough.
That's what I was like thinking. I was like, dude, I don't know, man. That Philly and the shit he does, like they do
Philly,
there, is just.
everything that he has on that menu is wild.
Yeah.
Because
I
you're-
would not be upset if that was my last meal.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I would not regret anything on that menu.
And the variety of it, and the you'll go there and you'll eat fire ass shit that you would have never had in your entire life.
Exactly.
Like aloo tiki was something that I just had. You know, I don't even know how to pronounce half the shit on the menu.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I never came in like this one.
yeah, this one right here. Can I
Point
get?
at
Yeah,
it.
you point at it. Okay, so obviously Streets for the Death Row meal. Not a surprise there. And the last question that I ask everyone is, if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Dude, that's a really hard question.
Super hard.
That's rough.
Now that I ask everyone this, like I sit there and I think of it myself, and you know, there's a lot of people that would be super interesting to talk to. Honestly, dude, Mac Miller would be super interesting to talk to.
Oh, for sure.
I would love to talk to him. Robin Williams is my go-to. You know, I would love to talk to Robin Williams. I usually tend to think of people that are, whenever I say like alive or dead, I usually think of people that are dead.
Yeah, like, see, I instantly went to like dead, and then you're trying to think of every, like, you're like, okay, what, like, do I want to like talk to like a musician?
Yeah, exactly.
A famous person.
Like, imagine talking to like Jimi Hendrix or like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yeah. Like, imagine that. That would be insane. Any crazy musician, Michael Jackson, even though he's kind of weird, but you know, it would be wild.
I think it would be tight to just like real, just like chill, hang out conversation, pick the brain a little bit. I think it would be cool to just like talk to Bill Burr.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like, and just hang out, like, dude, have a drink.
That's a good choice.
You're gonna get some laughs. You're gonna talk about some real shit.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah.
His videos on All Things Comedy of him just like driving through traffic.
Oh, dude, it's so funny.
Those are the funniest. It's weird because like we're both fans of like comedy, and like I tried it, like I did the comedy for a second, and it's like it makes you think like these motherfuckers are so much more talented than you could ever imagine. Like, even though being on stage, it might sound like that it's like just them talking and shooting the shit. These motherfuckers are just like, there's such a method to it all. It's incredible. And he's definitely one of the GOATs in the game.
For sure.
But
yeah, that's hard, dude. Like,
Bill
that's
Burr.
what I think. Yeah, because I just watched something of his.
That's a good.
And then
it
like
choice.
was in my mind. I was like, I feel like it would be cool to like just kick it with him.
Yeah, he would be a good person to talk to. So would like Doug Stanhope. I think he would be fun to talk to. And I think Dave Attell would be hilarious to talk to, because I feel like he would be the same way. Like,
did you see that Bumpin' Mics?
I didn't watch it yet, but I listened to them on Rogan, and they were hilarious. You listen to Rogan a lot?
Yeah, I pick and choose with him.
He got
a little too much.
It's
sometimes.
saturated now with all the people, so it's harder to like listen to all of them. But you know, he's still out there just killing it. I listen to Mark Maron though. I would love to talk to Mark Maron.
I'm hit or miss with it. Like, I'll pick and choose with it. I like his a lot.
Yeah, that's like what I try to like base myself off of is like I want my main thing. I want mine to be like most like Mark Maron's podcast with like a hint of like Bert Kreischer's with like a hint of Ari Shaffir's.
Yeah. Because
like I like that Ari Shaffir just does what he wants. And
gives no fucks.
Yeah, he does not give a fuck. And I honestly don't give a fuck. And I like that Bert Kreischer has like that innocence where like he's definitely dumb. I'm dumb, and like I just talk to people about shit that they do.
Yeah.
And I ask the questions that all the idiots are thinking about. And that's like my bread and butter, I think. But
it's the best way to go, I see.
Best way to go. All right. I fucking appreciate you coming over and talking to me.
Man. Thanks for fucking bullshitting with me.
Yeah, this is fun.
This was fucking tight.
Yeah, it is. It is tight. Got that 9 to 5 life. Just
living it.
That's it, dude. You can talk to anyone. Anyone in the world is interesting. You don't have to be a fucking rapper. You don't have to be no one. You could be out there just killing it with that blue collar life.
There's more than just a day job, man.
More than just a day job. You got some social media or anything you want? Promote it.
I don't really do it. Like,
he said, I don't
have my side gig going. Yeah, so you can't like see anything I do.
Well, whenever that happens,
me on Instagram.
Yeah, whenever that happens, we'll get you back on here
for sure.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Everyone that's listening, we got new shit out. I got these fucking pins made, limited edition, numbered 1 to 100. So there's a very limited quantity of 100. So definitely grip them. I have a giveaway right now. 10,000 downloads I just hit. And I appreciate everyone that listens to it. So if you go there and you comment some people that you would like me to have on this podcast, I'm going to just pick 3 random ones through a random number generator. And whoever wins, there's going to be 3 winners. One person's going to win some stickers. One person's going to win stickers and an enamel pin. And the grand prize is a hoodie, a pin, and some stickers. So go comment on that fucking post. I appreciate everyone, though. Follow me on social media. I'll call you right back on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Email me some feedback. Let me know who you want on, who you don't want on, what you like, what you dislike. Call me a piece of shit if you want. Just email me and tell me what you like. But thanks again, and I'll call you right back.